Vincenzo's Gold Crypto Investing, bell notification, comment down below, like the channel and share to get that daily, once a day XRP, cryptocurrency, and blockchain technology video you've come to expect, love, and deserve. And it's been quite active over the last couple of days in the coin world, big downs and big ups and consolidations. And we're going to get into it and take a look at it all. And if you want to trade cryptocurrency, XRP, Bitcoin, Ethereum, Cardano, Peepcoin, Shiba Inu, and amongst 20 plus other coins for the cheapest fee and easiest way, use my Robinhood link below. Or I also do use Coinbase. I have a Coinbase down below. Feel free to use that. Support the channel, become members of Yes, Jabroni Killers, to keep these videos coming once a day for free to my audience, right? And if we take a look at what's been going on the last couple of days in the 4 hour time frame, we had to take care of some family things the last few days, so I've been busy doing all of that. So here we are again making our daily cryptocurrency video, and something that took place the last couple of days as we start with Bitcoin. We do know about 7 days ago we hit that 103,681.44 all-time high, breaching the $100,000 mark for the first time. We had a quick correction, and then we had a steep correction the other day in terms of just going down in a range. And in the 4 hour time frame, we did dip below the 100-day moving average in blue. We got down to twice at about $94,200 and change. And then we had a ferocious rally on Wednesday, December the 11th. And then we had a quick pump back up mid-afternoon and evening, and a bigger pump up on some of these altcoins. And then we topped out earlier today at about 102,600 and change. And now we're starting to trend slowly down. And now what we're going to watch is, do we make another humongous run up to our next target of $112 and change? Or do we breach this 100-day moving average in blue and come closer to that 200-day moving average in green, which also coincides with that gigantic pump up to $99,969, before we finally did break the $100,000 mark here before we corrected. And do we come down to that 90,000? And that's a new major support level to come test it for the first time, as the volume has been stagnating sideways and slowly coming down. And we're going to continue to watch to see if we do come down to that $90,000 initial target. And then another bullish consolidation, if we do start to consolidate down instead of going up, would be this next major area that was sitting at about $74,000, which was a major consolidation zone and a resistance zone before it broke up to uh, the $95,000 mark, right? And that's down here at $74,000. And that is something that I'm watching out for right now in the Bitcoin price. And if we, oh, tons of a bitches. And if we do zoom out a little bit, as it never wants to click the initial first thing you want, and you can see that consolidation zone that I was talking about after we had a double bottom back here. And then we started to pump up to the upside. We had our initial run up and a consolidation right up here at around $74,000 before we finally broke that. It was a brief consolidation zone, but it was a consolidation zone nonetheless in an area that was back here in April when we made an all-time high, was our major rejection point at 74,297. And as soon as we broke that, we had our next leg to the upside. And that's what we're paying attention to in the Bitcoin price to see if it does come up to there. And if we look at Bitcoin dominance, you can see we had a nice ferocious rally the other day right here. We had two of them, one here and then another one here on December the 8th, and that propelled Bitcoin up. I believe that was the day it did set its all-time high as people were taking some profit and putting it back into Bitcoin. If we look at AMP is still holding in the 4 hour time frame, the moving averages, and we had a big dump down from this major pump about 7 days ago, 38, 39%, which is normal. And we're still looking to see if it does pump to the next level to the upside and come up to that 2 1/3 cents, or is it going to want to try to correct back down to the 200-day moving average, which is right about here, or at about 7/10 of a cent, or are we going to correct even farther down to the half a cent level, and that's what we're watching out for. A correction to the downside after a 300% move, or another leg to the upside at 2 cents. I'm still short-term bullish on that. XLM, I've been short-term bearish ever since it had about an 8x return, and I've been short-term bearish since about this point right here because the volume has been falling. We had a little bit of a spike up here, but it was a lot of sell volume with one 4-hour candle of buy volume, but a continuous trend down in volume. And if you do know, we did have a big dump off on December the 9th, December the 10th, where we went from about 49 cents and we flushed down to a wick low of about 35 cents, all in the matter of about 8 hours. And most of it happened in the matter of about 2 hours. And then we had a pretty big return rally from the wick bottom to the top, 27% to the moving averages, the shorter term moving averages, the 50 and the 100-day, and then we were on that major support level of 42 cents, and now it seems to be holding it as resistance, when back here we were holding it as support, and now on the flip side, it's initially holding it as resistance, and if it continues to hold it as resistance, and we go into the daily time frame, what I got for you is you got that major moving average there, at 32 cents, which is the 50, then the 23 cents is the 100-day, and then the 34 cents is just below the 200-day moving average, right, in the daily time frame. So these are areas that we're watching out for, and they also do coincide with first major run up, consolidation, breakthrough. So that's a major support level now. It was a resistance area. Second major pump up, support resistance area, and then it blew through. So that's our next major support now. Third major pump up, consolidation formed. It has underneath support here, here, and tried to do it here on a wick, and now it's stagnating below it. So you're either going to try to pump up to 63 cents, or you're going to continue trading sideways and down to the moving averages, where you would dump down now to the 32 cents, seeing as we cleared the 42 cents, and now short term, initially, it's trying to be resistance. Your fairest area would be to come down to about 32, 31 cents. Then maybe have a little buyback up, a little buyback up, just like you did here. And the second area would be down here to the 23 cents or the 100-day moving average in the shorter term time frame. And that's what we're watching out for in the XLM. So that short term bearish call of a couple of weeks ago is still playing out. XRP, I became a little more short term bearish over the last few days as the price has started to show some of the same symptoms and signs after about a 7x return from its lows. As what's going on here? As XLM is, as you can see in the daily time frame, if we pull out our industry exclusive perching tool, not that lame ass line tool, this has an arrow on the end of it, and the perches, see that? Likes to perch. We had the big run up in volume and the mean of the volume in this line all the way up until here, where we hit our 7-year high. Then we started sideways in volume, and now the volume is noticeably declining. And the dailies, each candle has been noticeably declining, along with more red. So big red sell candles. Notice I didn't have any sell candles in the daily here. Green, green buys. First sell candle on the 26th. A bunch of greens, peak in volume. Now the volume falling, and you've had a nice sell candle, nice sell candle, nice sell candle, nice sell candle, followed by two in a row of smaller buy volumes, and now in the next daily, a sell candle. And if we zoom in here a little bit tighter and see what we're talking about here, is your major next target on the upside is targeting the all-time high, something not seen since 2000 and late 2017 or early 2018. I don't know. It was towards the end of the year, so I don't know if it actually hit it in 2017 or it waited till January or February of 2018. But we have, oops, what we have here is our major support and resistance levels. And you can see that $1.89 target that we did hit, and we bounced off it successfully after we had the big flush along with some of these other coins. Let's go into the 4-hour time frame. We did have that big intraday flush and then the great recovery on December the 9th, where from wick high to wick low, we went down about 21%, tagged $1.89. And then we had a ferocious rally where there were a bunch of buy orders at a technical level, and it pumped it up 30% in the matter of about 2 hours. And now we're starting to trade sideways a little bit. And if we continue in this short-term bearish or profit-taking consolidation, high, lower high, your next major support would be just like we had our three bottoms here that lined up and that pumped. We have a bottom here. We could get another drop down to $1.89, some trading, and then maybe even potentially dropping down closer to that 200-day or 200-day moving average in the 4 hourly, or this $1.58 major target. And our major underneath target is $1.26. Those are just something that we're watching. And the XRP with the declining volume and some more sell candles coming in, followed by rallies that are shorter lived and less sustainable, and they sell off quicker if we are going to continue into this consolidation to the downside in the short term. And those are the four targets we're watching. 335 all-time high tying on a big over exuberant pump, or a steady consolidation to the downside in an up and down jagged volatile fashion, hitting that $1.89 again, and then breaking that and coming between the $1.26 and the $1.58. And that's something that I'm going to continue and keep on watching out for you, my lovely, beautiful audience. And if we scroll along here, Algo, we were talking about the other day at the 53 cents, the bottom part of this green trading zone, and the major support level of 35 cents, where we did double bottom off of that. Had a nice rally, but it's doing sort of what XRP is, exactly the same thing. And if we want to hold this, we want to hold these moving averages to pump up to that 52 cents, get some buy volume in, and then pump it through that zone, breaching the 61-cent regional high, or we're going to trade sideways and down to between the 24 and 35 cents after a nearly 8x move from its low. Let's see, I did have some questions on here. We'll get into this at the end of the video, and then we'll see if there's any news. But I did notice the other day, sorry it's taken me a minute, we did have some people asking questions. Yeah, I completely rigged markets. Yeah, when it dropped to $1.91. Yeah, nowhere exactly. You got more chance of predicting the weather. You know, some Americans actually believe this rubbish. I don't know what he's talking about, but we'll let him talk. This appears to be a scammer, so we're just going to hide the user so he doesn't know that he's blocked. I'm not sure if this guy's a scammer or not, but I appreciate you commenting every day. I do like that. Uh BPLC, we'll look at that. AMP, I'm still bullish. Clover, we talked about. TA for Velo. Red pink logo. All right, my man, Velo. We'll try to find the right one. And ZBCN. So we want Velo, but the correct one this time because my man, I put the wrong one last time. So let's get out of here and go search for some Velo. Oh, Velo tether, that's got to be it. Velo. Ooh, Velo looks like in the 4 hour time frame, just initially that we're looking at. Could this be a head and shoulders pattern, a right shoulder, a left shoulder, a head, a right shoulder, a neckline? Targeted move would bring you somewhere around there. That is some potential, just noticing that real quickly in the 4 hourly. Let's go to the daily. Velo's been out for a while, and I know it was down about 99%. So let's go to the weekly. And if we go into Velo, since we're starting with a new coin, we'll bring the VP volume indicator, drag her over. Not a lot of trading, and that's very interesting right here. If you look at it, all the way up here at the top of this, there's very little to no trading, which is kind of odd. There's no trading up there. Just a quick sell down, and you can see all the volume's been traded where we're at now. So what I would be looking at here is if you could break this area, this level up here at about cents, you would have a quick run up all the way back to your all-time high, but we're trading with a stagnating to declining volume, even with this recent pump that's been in an orderly, that's been in an orderly, what appears to be a rising wedge in the weekly time frame. You can start from your low, support, 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 all the way up, run something like that. And then if you put on your overhead resistance, you can see resistance, resistance, resistance. This looks like you're forming maybe some kind of rising wedge, which are bullish continuation patterns, but bearish reversal patterns. If they do break down to the downside, usually the odds. So right now, it seems to be we're trading at upper resistance. So I'd be looking at a consolidation to come back down into the, get that closer because it's uptrending. Get that consolidation maybe back to that 1.25 cents. And then if we do break out of this, your first upper target would be up here at about 0.076 cents, or about 3/4, or about 7.75 cents. And your underneath support right now is at about 1.25 cents. So that seems to be the quick pattern that I'm looking at in Velo real quick for you. I think ZBT is on. Yes, we still do have that. We did look at this the other day, and we had our major resistance box up there from the VP volume indicator. And then we did hit, and oh, this actually had a big, big flush. I don't know anything about this coin, but we have support, resistance, resistance. So that was three areas that we could have marked this. And you can see it did come all the way up here and have a major resistance level that it hit, with its major support levels at 3 zeros and 8648. And if we clone that, you can clearly see now with your third hit up here at about the 0.0015, we had support right there, then resistance 1, resistance 2, and a resistance 3. And if we take a look at the percentages of the fall, we did have from the top here at about approximately the 8th, we wicked down all the way in a couple of days on a wick low of 36.82%. Now you're trying in the daily time frame to hold these moving averages, the 50 and the 100, and bounce back up into that green resistance line at the 0.015 186 level, or you may actually trade all the way back down to the 308648. But if you do come back up and breach this triple top resistance level, your first initial target would be quite a bit of a move up from this triple bottom, triple top peak. It would be about a 21% move up into the bottom part of this orange trading zone. So that's what I'm watching out for there. We'll give you another update tomorrow. We got some of the things that we were worried about taken care of and working on to get better with the family. So that's good news. The coins are consolidating. BlackRock suggests allocating up to 2% of portfolio to Bitcoin. Key indicator signal Bitcoin next move. Is there anything in here that I care about? Bitcoin grapples with the 100K. Starboard value takes stake in Riot platform IAI shift. That is on the stock market. Texas state representatives introduced bill to create Bitcoin reserve. I'll have to look into that to see if there's any validity. Australian AMP fund invests 27 million in Bitcoin. BlackRock reveals its recommended Bitcoin exposure. 11.5 trillion asset manager BlackRock advocates for 1 to 2% Bitcoin allocation, traditional 60/40 portfolio. So those are some interesting things in the news, but not anything I really want to read tonight. Like, subscribe, and share to my lovely, beautiful audience. Peace and love.